Yo, what's going on everyone? My name is Brian, or you can call me Brian. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to make montages like this.
That was a lie.
Hey,
Yo.
hey,
Now before we start on this tutorial on how to edit like Flea and Miliam, 12, all those big time editors, if you guys are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications on and smashing that like button, because that'd really help me and I'd really appreciate it as well. And also comment down in the section below what you guys want to see next in future videos. I hope you guys enjoy. Peace. So the first step I like to do before starting my montage is I like to have a song ready. And you want the song to be a good song. I know that's common sense, but like I'm not talking about like those songs you hear on TikTok. I don't think those songs are really good for Fortnite montages. I mean, they're really good for like highlights and stuff, but like I don't think they're good for montages. So for the sake of this tutorial, the song that I chose, or that I'm going to be using, is the one that Flea used in his Phase 5 montage called Gotham. And it's by Tokyo's Revenge. And if you're new to Premiere Pro, this is your timeline. This is where you're going to be dragging your clips and your audio, your sound effects, everything onto here. So you just click this and drag it on there, onto the timeline, and you can see it's on the audio track right here. So after you have the song and you put it on your timeline, the next step you want to do is just to have markers. The reason why you want to have markers is so it kind of like indicates to you where you want the beat to sync, where you want the the kill shot to happen, or how long you want the cinematic. Like maybe you want the cinematic from here to there and you want the kill shot to be right here. Markers are really good indicators to let you know this is where you want it to be. And if you're new to Premiere Pro, you don't know how to apply markers on anything, you just gotta hit on the clip or the audio, find a place and time where you want the marker to be, and all you gotta do is hit M on your keyboard. And after you hit M, you see there's a marker right there. And for the sake of this tutorial, I'm not gonna be doing a full-on montage. I'm only gonna be selecting a certain part of the song where I want to place the clip. So we're gonna go ahead and cut right there, because that's where I want to start it. And if you guys didn't know, that is the razor tool. That's what you can use to like split clips and whatnot. And before we get started into editing the clip and time remapping the clip and going into all that, I do want to mention that all these clips are being recorded at 144 FPS. And you want to make sure that your clips are also recorded at 144 FPS if your computer is capable of. If your computer is not capable of doing so, then that's totally fine. But I will warn you that when you do have clips that are like 60 FPS or maybe below, and you start messing with the time remapping, the stuff will get choppy, and it won't be as smooth and flowy as say 144 FPS. Because like if you take a 60 FPS clip and you want to slow it down by 50%, it's gonna be like a 30 FPS type of look, and we all know what 30 FPS looks like, and it's super choppy and whatnot. And whereas if you take like for example 120 FPS clip and you want to slow it down to like 50%, it's gonna be like watching like a 60 FPS type of clip. It's gonna be a lot smoother compared to the 30 FPS clip. And in order to do that, let me pull out OBS right here. To record, all you gotta do is just go to the settings. You're gonna go in video, and you want to make sure you change this to the fractional FPS value. And you're gonna change the numerator to, for me, 144/1 is fine for me. That's what my computer can handle. Some people can handle 240/1. Some can handle 120. It all depends on your system, and what and your specs, and what it can handle. So I do want to warn you guys about that. All right, so now that we have our music on our timeline and it's organized by these markers and stuff like that, we want to next have the clip ready. So this is a clip I record like a couple hours ago. It's just a normal trick shot clip, and we're gonna do the same thing, and we're just gonna drag it right into this timeline. And what you want to do next is hit this this lock button right here. It looks like a lock. So it basically locks this track right here, so nothing you can do right here. You can't move it around, you can't do anything, but you can move the audio around. So what you want to do is just delete the audio, because we don't need the audio at all. The reason why you don't want the audio is you want to be using your own sound effects at the end of the day, because it'll just sound way better than using your game audio. Okay, so moving on, now that we have the clip and the music in there, we're gonna start to time remap it. And in order to time remap in Premiere Pro, is you want to right click the clip, you want to go show clip keyframe, and you want to time remap, and you want to go speed. And it brings like this little line right here that you can adjust up and down, and you can see like the percentages. This will determine, you know, how fast the clip's going, how slow the clip's going, you know, and then you can keyframe it by this little dot right here. So if I say, you know, if I want to keyframe right there to, you know, right here, for example, and I want to drag this up, you know, like, you know, 200% or something, it's going to look something like this. Let me get the audio so it doesn't go off. And if you zoom in a little bit closer, you can see like these little knobs or something you can use to pull out and drag out. This is how you create that flow. So you can like drag it out like this, you know, something like that. And then when you click on it, there's like this little, let me make this larger for you all to see. There's like this little blue line. So you can adjust this curve based on how fast or how slow you want the speed to start. So normally when I do like flow and stuff, I usually take this and I kind of line up with the line so that it's kind of like a smooth sort of transition from this speed to that speed, and then going on to that speed. It's very smooth. And do the same thing on the other side, you know, stuff like that, right? You want to be able to have a smooth curve just like that. So I just finished time remapping the clip. As you can see, you know, it's nothing too fancy, you know, nothing too out in the ordinary. It's very simple. If I go through, you know, it's very generic, very slow, very not very slow, very, I guess, like normal, you know, creative builds, and it goes into a slow, and then this is where it builds up, and it builds up onto the speed boost. I want to hit the speed boost on that mark. So you see this mark right here. This mark right here tells me, okay, this is where I want to do something right here. This mark right here tells me, okay, so at this beat, this should happen. So at this beat right here, I wanted to do the speed boost beat. So you can see, as soon as I hit the speed boost, it's already past that marker, all right? And then it goes back to a slow speed, slow speed, slow speed. And at this marker right here, it's telling me, okay, this is where I want to hit my flint knock shot. So you can see it hits the flint knock shot right on that beat. I mean, obviously it could be done a little bit better, but right on the beat, and it goes into the next flint knock shot right on the second beat. So this is where I want the flint knock shot to happen, right here. This is the flint knock shot right here. And then this scene right here is kind of like the pre-scene before the cinematic, so that when we pan in the cinematic, it will be a little bit smoother. So this is what it kind of looks like. And at the very end, this is where the kill happens. Take the pickaxe out. It's very important when you film these clips and you do these trick shots that you take out your pickaxe. Otherwise, it won't look as nice when you time remap it. And you know, this is like some basic time remapping. It goes normal, and then it just goes slowed down. So I'm gonna show you guys like some of the basic settings before you go into to replay mode and, you know, film the cinematics. Some things I like to do is I like to go epic shadows, epic textures, epic effects, and epic post-processing. And I hit apply, and it'll make your game, you know, look all nice and stuff. But if your computer can't handle, you know, all epic settings, maybe go to like the high settings, or maybe even medium settings. Just as long as, you know, there's some sort of like texturing and shadowing, you know, effect to it, it'll make your cinematics look a lot better. The number one tip I can give you guys is do not use your keyboard and mouse to record cinematics. The reason being is when you record cinematics with your keyboard and mouse, it's not going to be as smooth as for, say, a controller. Like, you know, if we take a controller right now and we want to pan around the skin right here, like, we notice how smooth this is when we're panning around this this person right here. Whereas, you know, you get the keyboard and mouse, you know, you can hit and drag around, and it just doesn't look as good. It's super choppy, and then the pan just doesn't look as good. If You don't want to go out and spend, you know, $50-$60 on a controller if you don't have one. There are really cheap controllers on like Amazon called like Power Fusion A enhanced controllers. They're like $15-$20 and they're super cheap, and you know, they work just fine. Just as long as you're not using a keyboard and mouse. Tip 2 for recording cinematics is that you want to be recording with the drone free camera. You can do that by hitting this button right here and then clicking drone free. There are other options on there as well, but most people tend to use only drone free, only because you're not limited to like a certain movement or a certain area. You can kind of like move around freely without, you know. This cam right here allows you to, you know, adjust the camera, so like you can do auto exposure or you can do manually. So like this, like the higher you go, the brighter it gets. Obviously, the lower you go, the darker it gets. Or you can just have it auto if you don't want to mess with that. This is the focal length. For Fortnite cinematics, you want to make sure you have 21 millimeters. That's sort of like the Fortnite FOV, like the closest to the Fortnite FOV. For those of you who don't know what aperture is, this is kind of like depth of field. So like the lower the aperture and the longer the focal distance, meaning the more of the background will be shown and less of the person itself. We want to lower the focal distance and keep a low aperture. You notice how the main character starts to focus in and the background starts to blur out. That's what aperture does. Autofocus, you can keep it on or you can keep it off. I like to keep it off because I like to mess with the focus distance. So the basic stuff, if you guys want to copy it. Also, if you guys want this to go away, all you gotta do is hit the I button and everything's gone. So I'm gonna go ahead and film the cinematic real quick and we'll be back on Premiere Pro. And we are back in Premiere Pro. As you can tell, I already sort of, you know, time remapped the clip itself, or that means the cinematic itself, just to save a little bit of time. So the cinematic that I chose to do is a very basic cinematic. It goes from the very top and it goes down to the bottom. You know, very basic, very simple. You know, nothing too special about it. If you don't know, you know, what kind of cinematic to use, you know, you can use this one. It's very simple, like I said, nothing too special about it, but it works, right? When you're doing a cinematic like this, you do want to time remap the cinematic, because otherwise, if you don't time remap the cinematic, it's just going to be very, very slow and sluggish all the way to the kill. And I've seen montages that do that when they're doing like sort of this zoom in type of cinematic, and it just doesn't look that nice. Start the cinematic off fast, and then you want to slow it down by using the keyframes like I showed you how to use earlier in this video. And like again, to have this curve, all you gotta do is hit that knob. You can see that there's a little curve right here. Therefore, when it decelerates, it's just smoother. It'll make the cinematic look a little better. So as you can see, there is a little spot right here, right left. That's also gonna be part of the cinematic, but I just want to show you guys how to do it, how to reverse it. So basically what you want to do is you want to take the clip that's already time remapped and you want to hit Alt and drag the clip over here. You want to accelerate that clip a little bit more, like really fast. You want to right click, you want to hit speed duration, and you want to hit reverse speed, and it's something like this. And you can kind of like adjust it. Since it is going to be really fast at the end, you can adjust it to, you know, you can cut it down a little bit. All your cinematics should have black bars in your cinematics. In order to get black bars, you're gonna go over to the right here.
What?
And you're gonna hit this little icon that looks like kind of like a bent page, and you're gonna click on that, and then you're gonna find black video, and then it's recorded at 60 FPS. Okay, hit OK, and you're gonna drag this black video on top of the cinematic like so, and you're gonna take the razor tool and you're just gonna trim it down, and then you're gonna hit Alt and do the same thing just to copy it over there so you can have two black bars. Okay, so now in order to get the black bars, you're gonna need to go to your effects tool and type in crop. It's gonna be under the video effects transform tool, and it's gonna be right here, crop. You're gonna drag your crop over to your first black video, and you're gonna drag crop over to your top black video. Okay, now let's hit the eye icon right here so we can focus on this black bar first. Alright, so in order to get the black bars, what you want to do is we're gonna be messing with the top and the bottom. So let's go to the bottom and kind of find the place where you want the cinematic to be. Normally, my favorite number to use is 90%. You know, it's easy. You know, gets the job done. And you want to keyframe these black the black videos so it kind of creeps in type of way. So I normally, you know, go in, you know, maybe a few frames in, and we're gonna hit the keyframe button. Then we're gonna go back to the start, and then we're gonna type this as 100 so that when it goes in, as you can see, it creeps in the black bars. We're gonna do it for the very end of the video. You can hit Alt on your keyboard and drag this keyframe maybe over here, and do the same thing like so that when at the end, the black bars just disappear. Now with the top one, we're gonna do the same thing, except we're gonna be messing with the top black video. So we're gonna uncheck the eye, and then we're gonna mess with the top, right? That's how you create black videos and how you make them creep in. And for the sake of this video, I also already put sound effects into this montage. You can see you got my whooshes, you got my flint knocks, speed boost, like they're all in here. You can find these sound effects, you know, anywhere on Google. You just Google, you know, sound effects for Fortnite montages, or like best whooshes, you know, pump sound effect, flint knock sound effect. You know, they're all over the internet. So for the sake of this video, I already plugged in, you know, all the effects, RSB, some color correction, shakes, impacts, you know, stuff like that. I've already added it into this video, only because this video was getting kind of long and I don't want to, you know, keep you guys waiting. But if you guys do want a part 2 on how I did all these effects, leave a comment down below. So now that we have all the effects and stuff, your montage should look something like this.
That was a lie.
I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. This was super fun to make. You know, I enjoy helping other people that aspire to be editors in the Fortnite montage scene, and you know, want to get, you know, their foot in the door, but like don't know where to start. Like, 'cause it's kind of like a guide on how you should be recording your clips, how you should be recording your cinematics, you know, the settings you should be using, you know, etc, etc. Now I did want to add, you know, all the effects in here and how I did them, but that video would be super long. So if you guys do want a part 2, leave a comment down below. If you made it this far into this video, I want you guys to smash that like button and also hit that subscribe button, turning on all post notifications on, and leave a comment down below. You know, if you guys want to see more of these types of videos, you know, or some other tutorial, just let me know, and I hope to see you guys soon. Peace.
That was a lie.